You understand that in Zimbabwe, you can't trade gold to a person. They have a deal of fidelity. So all the gold in Zimbabwe goes to fidelity. If I'm selling gold to you in Zimbabwe, it's illegal. I'm going to jail for that. So at that time, when we sold gold, we got dollars. When Mugabe was still a president, Mugabe gave us clean dollars, US dollars. If you come with gold worth $10,000, Mugabe will give you $10,000 US, very clean. So you can cross with $10,000 to any country. Now the new government came, they said, no, we're not going to give you US dollars. You're taking all our US dollars. Why are you taking all our US dollars? So we're going to give you 40% Zim dollars and 60% US dollars. You know what happens when you get that? Zimbabwean banks don't have money. In Zimbabwe, you can't say you are going to a bank to withdraw 100,000. You're not going to get money. Even when in the ATMs, you have to wake up early in the morning and stand in a queue to withdraw. What's the maximum withdrawal limit? 400 rands a day. So if you're going to withdraw 4,000, you're going to withdraw 400 rands times 10 days. You're standing in a queue. Going inside the bank and getting money, that's like impossible. You're not going to get any money. So if you want to exchange these dollars, you go to the streets. There are boys in the streets. It's a small boy. He looks homeless. He's carrying like 100,000 or something, you see. So when you get to these boys, now the boys want to give you a different rate. You see, you have 400,000 worth of Zim dollars. But the guy's going to say, no, I'm going to give you 200,000 rands. Take it or leave it. That's the streets rate. You see, you take it or leave it. So you're losing the 200K because you're not going to take these Zim dollars anywhere. They're not going to work. So now you need to exchange them in the streets. So the boy's like, no, take it or leave it. I have 200,000 rands here in my bag, 200,000 South African rands. You are crossing the border. I'm going to give me those dollars. I'm going to give you 200,000. So you accept the loss. You see, that was my first challenge. My second challenge, that time the country ran out of fuel. Zim ran out of fuel. There was no fuel in the country. You have to buy, it's either you're going to stand in a queue for 2 days just to fill up the tank, or you're going to buy fuel from the street guys. What is the rate from the street guy? 47 rands a litre, 50 rands a litre of petrol, 60 rands a litre. Take it or leave it. If you're not going to stand in the queue, then you're going to buy the fuel from the street guys. So that's another loss on top of another loss. So it was very, very difficult to function at that time. You see, it was very difficult. I remember at some point, when I got there, I bought a 530i, E60, from another guy for $2,000 US. I remember at some point, because I went from 5 workers to having 80 workers in 2 mines.
Yeah.
You see, in the space of 2 years, 5 workers to 80 workers.
This is in Zimbabwe.
Yes. So, having 80 workers, most of these workers, because in Zim, there's child labor and stuff. So then these guys, they get to 18, like the Zamazamas. They are very good. You can take your old graduates on anything. There's a guy who started drilling when he was 9. There's a guy who started blasting when he was 10. You see, so they do a clean job. They work even faster than machines. So you get these guys, but these guys, they are very ruthless because I changed life in Zimbabwe. I took Zamazamas, I gave them uniform, I gave them shelter, I gave them food. Zamazamas, they got professional job, they got paid. Now when these things started happening, that's when I realized, I took Zamazamas because they don't mess around.
Hustlers.
You're not going to say, I'm going to pay you next week. No, they will kill you. Yeah, they will kill you. You don't pay them, they will kill you. So at that time, I remember I was owing them. I kept saying tomorrow. And then a guy comes to me and my guy, you don't have this money today, you're dying. You see. I'm like, I'm dying. And say, are you dying? Those guys don't fuck around. Because they call them Makoporos. Makoporos don't fuck around, bro. They want their money.
And to hustle in Zimbabwe, they call it Ngwava.
Yeah.
Ngwava.
That time, my car, being a leak fuel, I don't know, Masikwele or anything, doesn't have a gauge. You know what I did there? I said, I'm a 25 litre. I put them in the boots. 25 litre out too. I fill up the tank. Navigator, I go, bro. If this car dies in Heleni, it dies. If I die, I die. I had small money, Pakistani. I straight to South Africa, Durban. Vroom, I go.
You left the mine there.
I left
the entire operation.
I left the operation and stuff, but they put cement, they closed the holes. I left the operation straight to SA, bro. Vroom. Get to the border, stories, everything. And I'm coming into South Africa. Or maybe I was the only South African driving a car with the Zim sticker. And everyone was shocked when I got into South Africa. When I get into South Africa, The cops stopped me by Bedbridge, and then I pass, and then I run out of fuel now because I've been pouring them 20 litre nani. The toll gates was too much. I don't have money. I had to park somewhere. Now hustle money to continue with the journey because I need money for toll gates. This is a 3.5 litre tank also. It's chowing a lot of fuel. No, I called different people. I raise money up until I get to the next stop. I need money for fuel because I don't know how much fuel is there. Every time I get near a petrol station, and then I actually got home, but recycling the things. But I realized, hey, it's not workable right now because of these policies like the currency thing. 90% of the small scale mines shut down at that time. So that was my journey in Zim, and that's when I wrote this book because we didn't have internet in the bush. So this book is like very, very personal to me. I didn't have an internet. I didn't have Google. I just wrote it from scratch.